feels like.
Let me take off my glasses.
Hello, guys. Yesterday I announced that I wasn't going to have a live today, but I had an opportunity here to sit down with a good friend, client of mine for many years, called George Orfali. And here he is, and he made this opportunity for me today, and I'm very happy. I'm going to fulfill my promise that I was going to meet with you every Wednesday at noon. And when I thought this was not going to be possible, George, it really wasn't. I appreciate you. Having a meeting here today with you was quite a pleasing experience. I am here in Post Oak, Houston, sitting in this young man's house, where we're listing his house for sale in Houston. It's a condo located in the heart of Post Oak, very nearby Galleria, nearby, the River Oak, and luxury shopping out here. So it's a really good spot to be in, where it's a 2 bedrooms and it's 1,500 square feet total. This building has many amenities. Tell us something about the building, George.
Well, first of all, it's also very near Memorial Park.
Oh, is it really? Okay.
Oh, yeah, it's almost within walking distance.
Walking distance from Memorial Park.
Right.
Okay.
Well, it's a nice building. 8 stories, so it's not very big. And our neighbors are very nice, and we know almost all of them, which I think is kind of unusual in this type of building.
Yes, very, very true.
And we have a very good homeowners association. And we have a pool, we have an exercise room, we have a party room, we have a very large lobby with tables, chairs, couches, and whatever.
There is a barbecue area.
There is an outdoor kitchen, actually.
Is an outdoor kitchen?
It's an outdoor kitchen. It's got a refrigerator, it's got a stove, and it's got, it's a full kitchen out on the I guess, patio you'd call it.
Right. Okay. And I've had a chance to already take photos, and I had a chance to also visit some of these amenities. As a matter of fact, I was the representative agent when we purchased this condo here, and we thought this would have been a perfect spot for him to, enjoy life where everything is just so nearby and easy access to everything. So we were very happy to accomplish that. But now I think he's thinking of moving to Florida. Is that the idea here?
Yeah. Actually, it's she who must be obeyed that wants to go to Florida.
Okay.
And as her name says, we have to do it.
I guess. Very, very good. Hey, George, tell me a little bit about yourself. You were a soccer player in the Corinthians team in Brazil. Is that correct? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I was more of the cannon fodder on the Corinthians team, but yes, I was on the Corinthians team in 1956 and 57.
Wow, 1956 and 57. Okay, man, don't ask this man how old he is. We're not going to tell you, okay? He's too young to tell you how old he is. But I can tell you, it has been quite a significant ride for you, George, right? Coming in from being a soccer player and deciding to maybe move to the United States of America. That's quite an incredible ride for you.
Well, that's quite a story. My dad was able to get a green card visa for the family. And so we sat down, and basically his offer was this. You can stay here in Brazil, play soccer for 2 minimum salaries, which is how they pay in Brazil. Or you can come to the U.S. and go to university. I don't think he got the word university out of his mouth.
Before he made the decision.
Right.
I'm going. I'm going. Yeah.
But the soccer story, there's another very interesting soccer story. When I came here, I went to enrolled at the Northwestern University, which is northwest of Chicago. And about the second day of immunization week, they announced that anybody who wants to play football to appear at the stadium a couple of days later at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, keeping in mind that living in Brazil, to me, football was soccer.
Yes.
And American football was unknown.
Right.
So when I saw that announcement, I figured, well, I'm going to apply my professional soccer playing skills.
Right.
So I went out to the stadium about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, sitting in the bleachers, and all at once, players started coming out. Well, first of all, they're wearing these weird uniforms, shoulder pads and all this crap, and I'm going, what the hell?
What is this?
So then, well, first came out a bunch of little guys, and they're running around and throwing around this strange oblong option. Okay, well, we'll see what's going on. A little while later comes a bunch of big, humongous guys. And the coach blows a whistle, and all of a sudden, these humongous guys are beating up on the little guys. And at the time, I weighed 140 pounds.
Right, that was awesome.
So I kept thinking, and I thought, this is not the football that I know, and I'm not about to get into this thing.
Right.
And so I left.
Right. Very good.
So that was my experience with American football as a player.
As a player, did you get hit? Did you fall down? Did you get injured at all?
It was just the whole thing seemed silly. Everybody all of a sudden get together, they beat each other up, they stop. They separate, a little while later they do the same thing again.
Yeah.
It was not exactly what I expected.
But soccer was also in your blood, and you loved the soccer. And believe it or not, I have Chris that is watching right now. He's an American, all-American white man, and he really enjoys soccer.
Well, over the last, since the American World Cup in '94, soccer has become a lot more popular in this country.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's gone. It's happening. Well, the Latin influence, in the European influence coming in, it's bringing soccer to life.
Absolutely.
Chris, by the way, he was a professional soccer player for the Corinthians team in Brazil, São Paulo, the São Paulo state, Corinthians. I wish he was Flamengo or São Paulo the team, but he chose Corinthians for some reason.
Flamengo.
For whatever reason that was. But hey, look, this gentleman right here is also, my channel is all about real estate, okay, George? So this gentleman here has also had the experience of being a landlord. And being a landlord, as some of you may already know, it is quite difficult. It's not an easy task. George, can you share some of your experience? Was it a good experience, bad experience?
I would say that it was not a good experience.
Not a good experience.
I've had tenants that just did not pay the rent, and I had to throw out. I've had tenants who completely destroyed one of my prime properties, and the revenue isn't exactly what I expected it to be. Again, I'm a small landlord. I've got 3 rental units, and it may make a big difference if you got like 10 units.
Right.
But to be a small landlord, I would not recommend it.
It's a lot of work. And maybe also sometimes not having someone to manage it for you, it's also another
another disadvantage.
It's a disadvantage.
But if you do have one, and you got limited income,
that it may be difficult.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So and the world is now transitioning from from a landlord to owning VRBOs. Honestly, so I've been seeing a lot of investors, that have had the experience of leasing their homes, becoming a professional landlords for many years, and dealing with these kind of headaches, having to deal with tenants, and they're very difficult sometimes. The way they pay it, the way they take care of your home, and also the maintenance that eventually, snowballs in your life, and you had a perfect run until that roof collapses, and all that money you invested or earned in that property had gone away. So I have been seeing a lot of investors who had that experience now investing on just vacation homes, homes that they purchased near a beach or a park. And there they furnish the unit and leave it open for the VRBNO or Airbnb managing companies. And believe me, they're being very successful nowadays.
I would imagine it would be. I mean, it's a different game.
It's a different game.
It's a completely different game.
It really is. And as a matter of fact is that person is willing to pay $500 a day sometimes for your home, for him to just be there 1 or 2, 3 days with his family. It's much less likely that he's going to encroach in your home or he's going to hold over your home. Or, this guy is a man that, he can be fruitful, that client can be fruitful to rent it for a couple of days. He's not there to take your home for you and destroy it for that matter, right?
Yeah.
So,
well, not having had any experience, but I mean, it stands to reason that somebody who rents a vacation place would not be as, I don't want to say destructive, because even your long-term tenants, in most cases, are not necessarily intentionally destructive, but they treat the place as their own, and accidents happen.
yeah.
And they are definitely not as careful as if they own the place. I mean, that just stands to reason.
That's true. And that's one of the reasons, too, George, that sometimes, communities are afraid of their neighbor homes becoming rentals. There is always that, misconception sometimes, perhaps, that, that tenant's not going to take care of, like you said, not going to take care of the home like the owner would.
Yeah.
But hold on a second. I've seen neighbors owners taking really bad care of their homes too. So these things can happen either way.
Yeah.
But what's the idea of going to Florida? What's the why Florida?
You'd have to ask she who must be obeyed.
She who must be obeyed. I'm guessing that's your dear wife, sir. Yes, is that what it is? Okay,
it's the boss.
The boss of the house. We all, if you're married, we all have a boss. Okay, well, and I really I appreciate the opportunity here, George, to interview you. If there's anything you can leave for those that are listening right now that are thinking about investing in real estate or purchasing their own home, what is one thing that comes up in your mind? A piece of advice that you can give them.
Use John as your...
Thank you.
He did not pay me to say this. But,
thank you.
I would say if you're going to invest in investment property, rental units, don't buy the most expensive or the most beautiful.
Yeah, there you go.
Try to stay at a mid to lower level, really.
There you go.
And if you're buying your own home, well, whatever turns you on, and keep in mind, someday you're going to want to resell it. So don't do one thing that a lot of people do. Invest more than maybe 20% of the purchase price in improvements.
There you go.
Because you'll never recover.
You'll never recover from that.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, George, that was a great piece of advice. I really appreciate your time and coming here and sharing your information, your history with everybody. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, George.
Thank you, John, for having me.
Thank you. I appreciate it, sir. Thank you. Goodbye, guys. I'll see you in the next interview here next week, Wednesday at noon. I'm very happy to have you guys here every week, and I'm open for suggestions, any comments, any feedbacks you guys can give me to make this an even better show and a lot of information to share out there for you guys. I appreciate you so much, and thank you.